The time has come for me to do a video on somebody I've met. No more removing yourself from this situation, Paige. So today we're going to be talking about something slightly different. Today we're going to be talking about somebody who is not a YouTuber. We're going to be talking about a social media influencer within every sense of that word. Yes, we are talking about the one and the only Tess Holiday. We're going to be talking about Tess Holiday and her forgotten scam. Question mark. Please don't sue me.
Sue me.
We're going to be taking a look at the ups and the downs and everything that happened from early 2014 and late 2015 and what it was that I uncovered. Y'all ready? Snatch your wig, bitch. Let go.
More money, I want your money. I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money. I want more money, I want your money. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause after this shit, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause after this shit, I was a hoe. More money, I want your money. I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money. I want more money.
Because we're from Britain, okay? We don't spill tea, we drink it. We do whatever we want, go wherever we want, do whatever we want, it's the man. Dooba dooba dooba, ba 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 ba. Look at me, I'm the fat black sis. Low, 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 low. Long as we got low, low, long as we got. Yes guys, it's your girl Paige back at it again with yet another video for you hoes. Today we're going to be taking a look at the past of Tess Holiday. We're going to be looking at her whole t-shirt scandal and basically give my personal perspective of what I think happened. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, Paige, what is this entire thing about? Who on earth is Tess Holiday? Well, if you don't know who Tess Holiday is, I'm about to break down who she is for you in 60 seconds. Tess Holiday is a 32-year-old plus-size model and Instagram star with over 1.5 million followers from America. From the years that I started following her career, I remember her as Tess Munster. Shortly before she got married to her now husband, Nick Holiday, she changed her name to Tess Holiday. Her real name is Ryan Megan or Megan, I'm not sure how she pronounces that. And she has two sons called Riley and Bowie.
When I'm talking to my children, to not put my own feelings onto them, especially as a child of abuse. They say that sometimes you abuse.
She was first debuted as the poster girl for the docu-series by A&E Heavy. That was her first steps into plus-size modelling, and since she has been named one of Vogue Italia's best plus-size models. She has been featured pretty much everywhere. She's been featured for H&M, she's been featured for River Island, she's been featured for Mini C plus sizes, Penningtons, she's been featured in yours. She has done a lot in terms of being a visible plus-size person who is featured in major brands. Although Tess has made some missteps within her career, which I kind of feel like is a rite of passage, everybody makes mistakes, she has since done more than a lot of social media influencers do, which is apologise for their actions and move on. However, for some reason, the plus-size community just won't let it go.
You lied. You stole, including stealing from a boy with cancer. Yeah, did you think people forgot about that, Tess?
I'm going to be taking a look into one of her biggest scandals, trying to find out what went wrong and also uncovering some new information. The time has come for me to do a video on somebody I've met. No more removing yourself from this situation, Paige. Just know I do this for you. I am going to be blacklisted from every plus size event going. Just know that I did this for you. Because we must never speak of the matriarch. So just a quick little story time so you guys know how I know and have met several times Tess Munster / Tess Holiday. So a few years ago, I'm going to say that I was 21, 22 years old, I ended up meeting Tess Munster at a meet and greet. I walk over to Tess and obviously it's my turn to go over in a meet and greet. And I'm like,
Oh my god, you're such an inspiration to me. I honestly, I don't even know, like, honestly, you are such, oh, you mean so much to me in the plus size community, and having you out here invisible and doing so much for all of us plus size girls, like, I honestly, I just, oh, thank you
my god, no problem. You're like really tall.
Yeah, I know. I've always thought to myself, you know, I should be a plus size model, but you know, I don't have the confidence, and you know, I don't know whether that's something I could do.
You should totally be a plus size model. I mean, you've got the height for it.
That was it. That short woman, she's very short. That was all that I needed to put my feet into the plus size community. And literally after that day, I was like bang on it. Casting after casting after casting. Turn downs after turn downs after I finally ended up finding my feet in the plus size community as a model. But that literally all happened because one day I met Tess and she said, you should totally do it. That was it. That was all I needed. Anyway, just a little sidebar on that story as well. I ended up being in line and being next to my partner's best friend, and because we ended up talking, she actually introduced me to like the love of my life. So I guess all things happen for a reason, and thank you, Tess. Okay, back to the story. So in November 2014, Tess Holiday launched the F Your Beauty Standards merch. The F Your Beauty Standards movement was something that was created by Tess Holiday. This was a quote-unquote middle finger to the social beauty standards that we constantly have to adhere to in mainstream entertainment and fashion. There's whispers in the pipeline that this was actually started by somebody who's called Natalie Haig. Natalie Haig is a plus size model. If you don't know who she is, you would probably recognize her as the girl who confronted a really mean, horrible guy who was on the plane who was being rude to her about her size.
I couldn't help but notice that before we took off, you were sending really horrible text messages about me to somebody.
I wasn't.
I have photos. Yes, you were. I saw the whole thing.
Anyway, there was whispers that this had been started by her. I'm sure I saw a screenshot, so if I do have a screenshot, it will be here. However, if I don't, it's just speculation. Natalie Haig has actually since been recruited to be one of the brand ambassadors for F Your Beauty Standards, which I find really weird. It's like, hi, here's the cake that you made, but I'm gonna take that from you. But here, have a scoop of icing. Yes? No financial benefits? Okay, there you go.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Anyway, what seems to have happened is at the very beginning of starting the F Your Beauty Standards merchandise, this seemed to have been a very homegrown thing. As in, at the very beginning of the operation, it just seemed to be her and her close friends, you know, doing some printable t-shirts and sending them out, etc, etc. One of the first things is that the price was very, very high for these t-shirts. People were looking at approximately $40 US for the t-shirt. That's a lot of money. However, this was combated by Holiday stating that part of the proceeds would be going to a domestic violence charity. And people were like, okay, that's cool. I can justify spending that little extra to give to that charity. You know, I know that the markup on this is really big, but if it's going to a good charity, I'm happy to support. So a lot of these people who supported paid the extra to have these t-shirts, to have this merchandise, and also to rep a social media movement that they really truly believed in. They didn't get their items. Like legit, so many people did not receive their t-shirts. So many people did not get their items. I mean, there were people who had purchased t-shirts in November 2014 who were still moaning in December 2015, not having a receipt of the t-shirt, not having a receipt period. And those who actually did have the t-shirts then went on to complain about the fact that the t-shirts were terrible quality and it was basically falling apart before their eyes.
It's a little shocking considering Tess made a big deal of how high quality these shirts were and how that was part of the reason people were paying such a gross markup on them. It's because they were such good quality shirts and really good quality printing. No.
The whole thing was terribly executed, and as things began to get more and more and more, and this pre-sale went on and on and on, and people weren't getting their t-shirts, and people were complaining, saying, what's happening, atting Tess personally, it got a little bit too much for Tess. one would say. And Tess decided that she was going to block the people who complained, which is never, ever, ever a good thing to do for your business. Anyway, so in late 2015, a group was started, a group, in fact, that I was actually a part of, which was F Your Customer Service. This was a Facebook group that amassed over 450 people. I think it's around 600 at the moment. And basically, it was people not only sharing their experiences with not having their items delivered to them, and there was a select number of admins who were helping people either get their refunds or get their t-shirts. After this had gone on, people who supported Tess began to lose faith in her, because not only were they blocked from her social media for saying, hey, I'm still waiting for my t-shirt, they barely had any correspondence or direction to go to. So this group ended up being a place for a lot of people to vent. Anyway, as of approximately 9 to 10 months now, it is alleged that everybody has received their refund from that time. People then began to watch her money, which I always say is like a cautionary tale when you do this kind of thing. Like, the same thing happened with Kendall Ray.
Okay, everybody just calm down. We're not gonna go crazy spending our winnings, and we're not gonna let this money change us.
What are you talking about? This money is our ticket to the good life. Starting now. I just bought a giant room full of gold coins, and I'm gonna dive into it like Scrooge McDuck.
When finances are involved with your fans or subscribers, they will watch your money. So people began to get really upset when they started seeing Tess Holiday take trips to Disneyland very frequently and go on various round the world trips that did not seem to be involved in her modelling. Hundreds of thousands of people were left out of pocket, while Tess had possibly one of the best years of her career. But one of the things that rubbed people up the wrong way was the fact that Tess had been gloating around social media about the fact that she earned 6 figures but wasn't able to put her hands into her own pockets, not only to give the refunds that were needed, but also to give to the charity.
I say, I get the money and go.
At the end of the financial year, Tess donated $1,000 and has actually stated that that came through as a tax write-off. Now, as far as I'm aware on the internet, this is quite common, that a lot of companies will deduct charity donations as a write-off at the end of the tax year. But another thing that people ended up noting was the fact that she actually donated money to Amber Rose's Slut Walk. Amber Rose even gave her a shout out on the Slut Walk Instagram page saying thanks for your generous, not just a donation, your generous donation. This got everyone pissed off, and I would have been pissed off too if that was me.
I will go to hell before I sit here and I watch this country and the world turned over to these savages. I'm done, I'm pissed, and I'm not putting up with it anymore. You people are enemies, and we're gonna get your asses, and we know what you're up to, and we're coming for you. I just hope you understand that. Now, get back to what I was saying.
There's a lot of things, systematically speaking, that Tess has done or said that have been basically a PR nightmare. From saying that all black men love her, to her very uncalled for responses to fans who were just giving their opinion, to even being rude to fans and brands in person. But this video here isn't supposed to be the character assassination of Tess Holiday. She makes her own decisions, and by that same token, she can take responsibility for her own actions. Screw. Also, there was this piece of information that I stumbled upon also. This was from the F Your Customer Service group. As you can see here, Tess does have a Depop. She does promote her Depop quite a lot, where she sells a lot of garments that she has worn in various different photo shoots, make a few extra coins, etc. However, she's been getting into a bit of trouble on her Depop as well, because people are waiting extended or extra long times for them to receive the items that they have paid Tess for. So there is also that. She really, as far as I'm concerned, really shouldn't be selling anything to anyone. Also, once again, what we're seeing is ridiculous markups on prices of items that are pre-owned, pre-worn. This has been happening also on her Depop. So people have just completely lost faith in her, and I kind of understand why. But it seems to me, when it comes to mainstream media, no matter what it is that she does or says, she is continuously held within high regard. The idea that just because she is a body positive advocate and her presence within the plus size community means so much to women who look like her. So many articles that were written around the time that all of this t-shirt scandal happened seemed to be so nice, airy and fluffy and all in Tess's favour, when essentially she failed to give her people what they wanted, which was their money, and they waited for a very, very long time to have that. And some of them still believed enough in her to want their shirts, and they still didn't get their shirts.
I don't know how much money she gave Refinery 29 to write this. I don't know what kind of deal she had. I don't know who she sold her soul to, but this is garbage. Straight up garbage. So basically her statement offers no apologies for ripping off hundreds of fans, no apologies for committing charity fraud for almost 2 years, no apologies. Instead, she blames a litany of other people for her messing up the merch sales. She blames the post office. She blames her team. She even goes so far to blame the F Your Customer Service group and the admin that created that group who tried to help her with her issues.
But she had enough money to give a very generous donation to Slutwalk. Something that was essentially fraud on so many different levels ended up being wrote into, oh, there was a system that just couldn't work and she really tried her best to do what she could, but it just wasn't working. Like almost victimizing her for making the decisions that she herself made. And the notion that $1,000 US, which was used as a tax write-off, was enough to give to the domestic violence charity, as well as a couple of nights at a domestic violence facility, is absolutely ludicrous, because I know for a fact that so many different people were expecting a lot more money to have gone to the charity, considering how much she marked up the price of her t-shirt for such terrible quality. But that does beg the question. It begs the question, why are the media so nice to her? There is an entire subculture of people who have been screaming out for quite some time that she is not the nicest person in the entire world, and we should not be putting her on a pedestal as the matriarch of the plus size community. If we look at the articles wrote by Refinery 29 and People magazine, we'll see that it was just very light and airy, that actually skimmed over the entire issue and why people were so upset that thousands of people did not get either their money or their shirts.
Another narrative that Tess has been spinning is that, oh, the t-shirt sales have been a huge loss. Oh, I lost so much money. No, you didn't. Do you know how I know that? Because I did the math, Tess. I did the math on your pre-sales for spring of 2014. You made at least $30,000 from people. $30,000 from people. How bad are you at your job that you pissed that away?
So I decided to take a look further into these articles. Whilst doing my research, I came across a website called whatamesstess.tumblr.com. Anyway, I'll link that down below. And in there is so much information regarding Tess and what has happened and what she's said to various people, etc, etc, but mainly to do with Shirtgate. While scrolling through, I ended up seeing an article by a website called BBU. Now, if you don't know, I used to run a blog. It got nominated for a British Plus Size Award. Thank you. And little did I know that I'd actually wrote about this situation in 2015. So obviously my blog is no longer there. I got rid of my blog. I no longer blog. So I decided that I would try and have a look for it on the Wayback Machine. Now, if you don't know what Wayback Machine is, it's a place where you can look at old archived web pages. So I was having a look on there to see what it was that I wrote all the way back in 2015. Whilst looking at that, I scrolled through and realised that the article that was written by Refinery 29 was no longer available. When this Refinery 29 article was written, it was a snuff piece at the very beginning. And when I saw that Refinery 29 article, it kind of got my cogs turning, because then I did remember back in the day, when they first wrote this Refinery29 article, they named it "Plus Size Model Tess Holiday Opens Up About Being Bullied Online." Now this rubbed so many people up the wrong way. Why? Because Tess wasn't being bullied. So many people just wanted their money or just wanted their t-shirt. That is all that they wanted from her. She was not in no way, shape or form getting bullied by the people who just wanted their money back.
Tess does this interview with Refinery29 after the heat just got to be too much, I guess. And it is the most pandering, fluffy, like, explanation and interview ever, where they just basically pat her hand the whole time and say, "You poor brave thing," while she, like, cries her crocodile tears into her giant, like, I don't know, $100 bill hanky. First of all, the original title of the piece was something about, oh, Tess is being bullied, or like how Tess Holiday deals with being bullied by haters online. And after all the facts came out, then the title got switched to Tess Holiday Comes Clean. So I think that's really interesting.
Then the article's title changed to "Tess Breaks Her Silence on T-Shirt Controversy." I was like, what? Why did they do that again? So let me take you through the journey of discovery that I found out. Right, boys and girls, I'm going to take you on a small little journey. Okay, as you can see here, I wrote this article December 18th, 2015. And then if we go over to where it says the Refinery29 article, if we click into that, just wait for it while it loads, it'll say Tess breaks her silence on the t-shirt controversy, which is exactly the article that I was looking for. But for some bizarre reason, I could not find it on the internet. So I was like, what the hell? What's the problem, right? So I just typed in a couple of keywords. Let me just show you a couple of keywords that I use. Refinery29. And then I put Tess Holiday t-shirts. Okay. That loaded, as you can see at the top here. Tess Holiday has an intriguing new project in the works. That's not the article that I'm looking for. So I went back. And then I typed in a different keyword. Scam. It's always a good keyword to use. Right, so I used that one, went into there, brought up Tess Holiday has an intriguing new project in the works. Now, that would lead anyone to believe that the article has actually disappeared. So I thought, you know what, the best thing to do is double check, go and search Tess Holiday's name into Refinery, see what it brings up. When I did Tess Holiday t-shirts, no search results, which I think is very, very interesting. And then I did Tess Holiday and it brought up a couple of results here, but nothing pertaining to that information. There's only actually 3 articles showing. I don't know whether there's a fault in their system or whether that's actually the case, right? So yeah, that kind of led me to believe that maybe the article was taken down, maybe because of all of the severe backlash that had happened since that article had been produced. Maybe they decided, you know what, let's just distance ourselves away from it. So I thought the best thing for me to do was to take the link from the Wayback Machine, which will be the refinery29.com, and put that into the search engine. Now, in order to use it, you have to take away the :80. So I used it, and what do you know? It brings up that exact article. Yes, that's right. These 2 articles are the exact same article. As you can see, it's written by a lady called Alexandra I. She was the original writer of this article. She wrote it on December 15th, 2015 at 2 p.m. Okay, I'm going to show you how it switches up now. As you can see here from the web archive that I found the original article from, it comes through as www.refinery29.com/2015/12/99 577
/Tess Holiday F Your Beauty Standards shirt. In the original article, it is www.refinery29.com/2015/99577/Tess Holiday F Your Beauty Standards shirts. These are the exact same links. But why has the title changed? And why has the article changed into talking about her new campaign with Pennington's when that happened in 2016? What would be the logical reason that an article would change from late 2015 to now February 9th, 2017 as the most recent time this article was changed? And a massive portion of the article has absolutely nothing to do with the t-shirt scandal. What is it that they're trying to hide?
So that leaves me with so many questions. The first way that I could rationalize this entire situation was that, well, this is an article that did very, very well earlier on in 2015. So maybe, just maybe, the original author wanted to add in an extra piece so that people thought that they were going to a completely different article so that that article can continue to gross more. You following me? But then I thought, why mislead the audience? If you're going to talk about Tess Holiday, why not just make a new article instead of speaking about something that not only happened in 2016, but also is not relative to the rest of the story? Also, if you take a quick look at where it is located, it's just beneath the banner of the advert. Therefore, most people will read that first bit and won't go any further. So why was this article changed? Why did the people involved decide that they weren't going to put that out into the universe? Wouldn't it have been smarter just to delete the article and say, listen, we don't want anything to do with it? Why continue?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
But this got a bitch thinking, honestly and truly, if there was nothing to hide, why change the article? It's not the first time that mainstream media has gone out of their way to mislead the audience, but this was done on such an obvious level. It's just so weird to me that there are so many people who would literally do anything to save the name of Tess Holiday. Right, in part 2, we're going to be looking at Tess Holiday's character and also the fact that she is the queen of Photoshop. Allegedly. And also we'll be taking a look into Tess Holiday's brother, her own blood, biological brother, his response to her debut book, The Not So Subtle Art of Being a Fat Girl. Anyway, that's about it for today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, I don't give a shit anyway. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you guys get a notification every time that Paige posts new content. This story has been a lot with a lot of information. I know for a fact I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot of voiceovers, and if you stayed here for the voiceovers, thank you so much. I personally think that there's a lot of people out here who do not want to destroy the patriarchy, and the matriarch of the patriarchy that is Tess Holiday, and keeping her up there on her pedestal with her being so visible means that there might be a chance for the rest of us. But I don't work like that. And don't take my opinion for it, because I'm just petty.
Roll it, God, roll it, God.
I need to stop.
Too much money in the bank. I ain't tryna play no games. Fuck, I hate it gon' sack. I be on my hustle all day, little bitch. Stay in your place, motherfucker, I'm paid. Too much money in the bank. I ain't tryna play no games. Fuck, I hate it gon' sack. I be on my hustle all day, little bitch. Stay in your place, motherfucker, I'm paid.
Excuse